Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, November 1st, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I will start with this one, and that is that we did, of course, close below. Just below, I might add. I'm not hedging. I'm just saying it doesn't get much closer than this. Having settled below 133.95, we shift our focus to the downside from now through really the month of November. This could be a 3 to 5 week move into the 110s. And so if you went long at that channel bottom on Thursday and did not get out at the closing bell, I don't have a big problem with that. This kind of deserves another day. Obviously, the risk is if you stayed long that we're going to gap below what is the low from Thursday at 132.11 and continue south today to 123.90. And that is technically our next, I'm going to call it a 1 to 3 day objective with presently spiked volatility. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we could, although I call this a 3 to 5 week target, it could be within 2 to 3 weeks, the 110.88 to 113.77 area. If you did actually go short on Thursday, the settlement, I don't have a problem with that either. This could go either way. Odds favor downside right now, but if you've been following this analysis enough with these channel violations, when it's this close, you know that another day of letting it flesh out is not a bad idea. But I don't have a problem in having gone short on Thursday's close with the settlement below 133.95 and downside 123.90, likely over the next 1 to 3 days. The 110.88 to 113.77 region over the next 3 to 5 weeks or sooner. And so working our way down today, we do have 127.66, and I can tell you that is nothing more than that late September high. That's what that is. And that could be it for the downside today. I would anticipate a bounce here, and this is really your day trade. So if we open below 133.95, that is sellable resistance, anticipating day traders, 127.66, the late September high. We can bounce off of 127.66 back to 133.95 intraday, but if we break 127.66, I do see 123.90 as in reach today, being a Friday and all. Volatility has spiked a bit. The 123.90 wouldn't surprise me by the closing bell, where we can place a daily low. If we do close today below 123.90, with that kind of volatility, I think by the end of next week or sooner, we continue south into this 110.88 to 113.77 region, where we could bottom out into December trade and round back up from here, possibly through the rest of the year. So 133.95, meaningful pivot point. We are right there. We could easily open at or above it on Friday morning. And that is the problem with being so close to this formation and say, I can see exiting a long position, but playing the short side on Thursday's close, the risk, of course, is, and it's quite easy for this market to actually gap above, open above 133.95. And if it does, if we do open above, the 133.95 formation, we can, well, I don't know about today, but yeah, today is possible, 139.67. On the way up, we do have this former channel bottom at 136.78 that we have reduced to an intraday level. So pushing, especially opening today above 133.95, 136.78 is likely. We can top out there intraday. Once again, this is well suited for day traders. These are both very day tradable levels, all three of them actually. If we push above 136.78 today, 139.67 is likely intraday. But I will say that closing today above 133.95 does indicate 139.67 on Monday if we don't test it today. I will also say that if we close back above 133.95, we are back to anticipating this 153.64 formation over the next 2 to 3 to 5 weeks. And certainly it would be a settlement above 139.67 that would tip the scales entirely back into the bullish column. And within 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks of closing above 139.67, we can aggressively make our way up to the 153.64 channel top, where we could top out into December and fall away again from there. And that is really the dynamic. But inside of this 153.64 down to 110.88 region, we have the pivot point at 133.95, and that is the big picture. And we are below that pivot point right now. And if we close, I'm going to say just merely negative on the day. So if you were balking at playing the short side following the settlement Thursday below 133.95, merely closing negative on the day in the 131 handle or the 130 handle, whatever the case may be, does clarify the sell signal, anticipating the 110.88 to 113.77 region over the next 3 to 5 weeks. So you can play the short side. That might mean reaching for 111 or 112 or 115 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for at least, I would go a couple of months out on that expiration date. And if we do close above 133.95 and you're not positioned already, or if you are on the short side, you want to reverse or at least cover a short position with a settlement today above 133.95, and I think you can actually play the long side. A rejection of this sell signal would involve or actually indicate 153.64 as our next 2 to 3 week target. If we close above 133.95, you may reach for 155 or 160 strike out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a couple of months. And finally, one more time, closing today above 139.67, however unlikely, and I say however unlikely because of the settlement below this 2-month channel bottom at 133.95. Selling pressures can build, and once again, if we open today below 132.11, I think selling pressures should yield the 127.66 level intraday, possibly all the way south to 123.90 on an intraday basis. But closing above 133.95, I see no good reason to be short NVIDIA as we move into November, anticipating the 153.64 formation within 2 to 3 weeks, make that inside of 1 to 2 weeks if we were to close today above 139.67. I think that pretty much rounds it out. We did put out a couple stock picks this week, both worthy candidates of your attention. Wickedstocks.com. You got a 5-day free trial up front, daily triple Q, daily SPY analysis, 2 recent stock picks, very actionable, looking for 20% gains, 25% gains on one, potentially, and up to 40% gains on the other, potentially. They cater to the 3 to 5 week, out to the 3 to 5 month time horizon traders. So I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's NVIDIA report. You have a fantastic weekend.